Your party, my party, this is the people's party. Your party, my party, everybody get on board.
Good night, St. Peter's. Good night, all others. Good night. The PDM is no stranger to this community. I'm sure you know that. We have had town hall meetings, and I can assure you that there will be more to come. We have been in almost every house in St. Peter's, Virgin Islands, and the environs, and we have been listening to your concern. We have been listening to your ideas. And some of what the concerns are in St. Peter's are the roads, especially in Virgin Islands. Buncombe Bay, they talk a lot about that has been neglected. Damages to agricultural crops by livestock. Someone even suggested that we should have a bounty on each rabbit and iguana so that when they catch them, they would get paid for it. And the fishermen, no facilities at Buncombe Bay for them. No facilities whatsoever existed at Buncombe Bay, plus several others. However, tonight I'll speak to the agriculture, fisheries, and poultry concerns that you have in St. Peter's, because my colleagues are addressing the other matters. In reference to livestock control, currently it has been happening very cruel. It has been very disorganized, the livestock control, and that ain't no right. People just going in the area where they are killing them, killing the animals, leaving them to rot, just doing things at random. And that is not right, my brothers and sisters. We also understand that they brought in shooters to shoot the animals. And listen, we have trained marksmen, you know, in the police force and service, and in the defense force, we have trained marksmen that could do the same job. And you know, I think the policemen need to practice sometimes. They need to keep practicing. And these are areas that they could practice if it becomes necessary. However, we do not think it is necessary to be shooting all the animals. We can save some of them by tranquilizing them. You know that? We could tranquilize them. We could pen them and allow the private sector to have this as a business. You could go in that area, catch livestock, pen them, and start rearing them. And that is a business for the private sector, someone in the private sector. Because there is a demand for meat locally. I'm sure a lot of us like the goat meat, and goat water is Montserrat special. So we don't want them to deplete the stock by just shooting at random. We want it to be organized. We will work closely with the Agriculture Department to ensure that there is a proper plan to handle this problem. The cows, goats, and the sheep, we should be ever mindful of how we hunt them. What we have to bear in mind is that we will soon have an abattoir, and we don't want it to end up like the market, do we? Because if we go killing out all the animals, there would be no animals to take to the abattoir, and it will be just sitting there like a white elephant. So we need to control the fowls, iguanas, and agouti, especially in St. Peter's and the rest of Montserrat. You know, we understand that there's a market out there for iguanas and agouti in countries like St. Martin, Trinidad, and Guyana. And we know the Guyanese love the iguana, you know. They love it bad. And they know how to fix it up. They know how to clean them and fix it up. And we're sure that once we secure that market for iguana, many of us will go out hunting for iguana, knowing that there's a market for them out there to sell. You know something? According to the recent news on radio, it is said that approximately 166,000 of agricultural produce was produced last year. And also the year before, it was around 133,000 pounds of agricultural produce. But the question is, did that increase of production lower the cost of living? Did that production lower the cost of living in the food, in the shops? No, it didn't. Look here. The cost of tomatoes still remains at $10 a pound. You know, tomatoes, that is not right. And we say we're producing a lot of food. Cabbage is at $6. Potatoes at $6.50. Carrots at $6. So if we were producing food, and we say that we produce over 166,000, it should have some impact on the market. The food price should have gone down. So the production that was mentioned had no impact on the cost of living in Montserrat. And I understand also, furthermore, that the reason why they stopped the plantain and the bananas and the avocados from coming into Montserrat is because of the threat of disease. It's not because of the amount that is imported, that is produced here. It's because of the threat of disease. So don't let nobody fool you, saying that because of the production here that they stop the food from coming in. It's because of threat of disease why some of these foods cannot come into Montserrat. Farmers are asking for storage facilities, proper sheds and chillers to preserve their crops, because a lot of their food is going to waste every year because they don't have no storage facility. The PDM will give priority to storage facilities for farmers. And I see the government of Montserrat mention storage facilities in their manifesto, but to date, the farmers are still asking for it because they have not done it. Why is it they couldn't give storage facilities to the farmers? You see, there are a lot of things in that manifesto that they have not accomplished. But I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we have a market strategy. We will appoint one of the existing staff in the Ministry of Agriculture to deal specifically with marketing for our produce, both local and regional. We have already started the process to self-sufficiency by securing lands where the access to water would not be a problem. And we know that you cannot farm all year round if you don't have water, because of the various seasons that we have. So our intention is to ensure that all the infrastructure is in place so that the farmers could farm all year round and we will have food all year round. Montserrat must become self-sufficient in food, and in that way the cost of living will go down. Tomatoes should not be $10 a pound. No wonder the diabetes rate in the hospital is going up every other day, because people cannot eat right. How many of you can afford a pound of tomato for $10 a pound? Not many of you. You know, year in and year out, we talk about the fruits that goes to waste, mangoes, guavas, breadfruit, just to mention a few. MCAP mentioned in the manifesto they will facilitate the construction of a food processing plant during their first term. Note that, ladies and gentlemen, they say that they would have a food processing plant in their term. And would you believe that they brought from town all the equipment for the food processing plant that we had in town? And guess what? If you go below the agriculture office, you will see all the equipment of the food processing plant there in the open. going to waste. And yet they say they have interest in a food processing plant. And there were good, expensive equipment that they brought in. They took it from the container. School children say they sell the container for scrap. And put all the expensive equipment outside to rot. There is a need, ladies and gentlemen, for the agro-processing plant in Montserrat, and we will do all that we can to make sure that there's a food processing plant in Montserrat to utilize all the guavas, the breadfruit, and the mangoes. I went to Dominica the other day and I see mango soap. So why can't we do that too, ladies and gentlemen, with all the mangoes that are going to waste? You know, people in St. Peter's have highlighted the neglect of Buncombe Bay by the present government. St. Peter's people not pleased with that. We, the people in PDM, believe that every community that has a natural resource, that resource should be developed to its full potential for the community and others to enjoy. For example, in St. Peter's we have Buncombe Bay Beach, and I agree with you, it has been neglected. And I agree that we should do something about it. Buncombe Bay needs a proper road to go there. Buncombe Bay needs accommodation for the fishermen in the area. They need a shower. They need toilet facilities. And that beach area could become an area for socialization, my brothers and sisters. We will work along with the tourist board and the agriculture department to make sure that Buncombe Bay become a popular place to socialize, a place where the fishermen could go comfortably and take their boats out. We also see that there's a wrench that is necessary down there for the fishermen to help to pull up their boat. I look to poultry farmers. They have been complaining about the shortage of feed from time to time. And most times the feed reach here, they're saying that the nutrients of the feed has gone because of the delay it takes to bring the food here from Trinidad and Jamaica. And when the food here reach here, there's not much substance in it. So then the chicken does not get the proper nutrients, and it affects the development of the chicken and the eggs production. From our research, we learned that corn is the main ingredients of chicken feed. Corn. And that is something that we could grow here. So we are looking into making chicken feed here for the poultry farmers. This is another private sector venture, ladies and gentlemen. We could grow acres of corns here and prepare the chicken feed locally. In Montserrat, the reality is that farmers has a lot of ideas and the potential is there to produce. There are some who definitely cannot make it. They don't have the finance to produce, but they have the ideas. There are some who have some cash, but they cannot do it all. We, the PDM, will ensure that these farmers get assistance to produce, because our aim is towards self-sufficiency for food in Montserrat. And wherever we can help, whether through subsidy or private public sector arrangement, we will assist the farmers, ladies and gentlemen. Montserrat must become self-sufficient in food to take down this cost of living. It is too high. Ladies and gentlemen, it is serious times. We all have to look out for one another. And as you know, we all got to cut it short tonight. But I cannot end my speech without talking about my leader. Donaldson Romeo, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the best leaders to emerge out of Montserrat. Let's hear for Donald Romeo. 3 cheers for Donald Romeo, ladies and gentlemen. This is your next premier coming forward to you. This man is very intelligent and he's smart. He knows how to get around to what he wants. Sometimes it seems like he's taking the long road, but it's for the betterment, ladies and gentlemen. And the 410 houses that they're bragging about that they're going to repair now, is our leader initiate that? Is our leader initiate that? Don't let them fool you. I could tell you about many other things that he has done, but that one, ladies and gentlemen, don't let the soften you up saying no, that is they who initiated. Is our leader initiated, ladies and gentlemen. So on election day, don't fool yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Let us vote them out. Let us vote for change. Let us take Montserrat forward with the PDM team. You have no choice but to vote PDM if you want to go forward. If you want to reverse, you vote MCAP. If you want to go forward, ever, backward, never. PDM is the party. Ladies and gentlemen, I have one more question. One more question I want to leave with you, ladies and gentlemen. And it is my favorite question. Are you better off today than you were 5 years ago? Think about it and good night.
Your party, my party, this is the people's party. Your party, my party, everybody get on board.